Hey everyone, today's video is all about horse racing, and in this video, I'm going to explain all of the bets that you could typically make at the horse track. Personally, I love betting on horses and have hit some pretty big payouts in my day. And don't worry if you're not a horse racing expert or if you've never placed a bet before. Horseplay makes it easy and fun. It's an online gaming platform powered by live horse racing, where you could enjoy the thrill of betting without needing any prior experience. Think slot-style games with the added excitement of real racing action and, yes, the chance to hit some serious jackpot. Ready to give it a try? Sign up using my promo code allcasinoaction to get 100% credit match on your first purchase up to $250. Plus, by using my promo code allcasinoaction, you could score an extra $50 in bonus credits on top. All right, so let's kick things off with the foundational bets. These are your win, place, and show bets. These bets are perfect for beginners who are new to horse racing. A win bet is straightforward. You pick the horse to finish first. So for example, if you like the number 5 horse and you bet $2 on the number 5 horse to win, let's assume the odds are 5-1. If that horse wins, you would get $10 plus your initial stake. Next, a place bet pays out if your horse finishes first or second. A place bet is a bit safer, but the payouts are lower because it is easier to hit. Then there's the show bet, which pays out if your horse finishes first, second, or third. This is an even safer bet, but the payouts are quite modest because it does have the easiest chance of hitting. These are perfect for building confidence before stepping up. All right, now let's gallop into the exotic bets, which are the most exciting. These are where the real adrenaline and the potential big payouts come in. Exotics involve picking multiple horses in a single race, also known as vertical exotics, or picking multiple winners across multiple races, also known as horizontal exotics. I'll explain each one with the examples using a $2 bet, which is quite common at most racetracks. Starting with the vertical exotics, the exacta requires you to pick the first and second place finishers in a race. So for example, if you bet the 3 and 5 horses, if you bet the third horse to finish first and the 5 to finish second, if they finish in that exact order, you will win an exacta bet. Payouts could be $100 on a $2 bet or even more, depending on whether there are underdogs in your pick. If you're not sure about the order, you could try a quinella. It's similar to an exacta, but the order doesn't matter. So as long as your 2 horses finish first and second in any order, the quinella will pay out. It's easier to hit, so the rewards are typically a bit smaller. Not every track offers it, but you will find it at major venues. Now, taking it up a notch, the trifecta requires you to pick the top 3 finishers in the exact order. So for example, the number 4 horse first, the 7 horse second, and the number 2 horse third. This one's a bit tougher, but the payouts could explode anywhere from hundreds of dollars to potentially thousands of dollars, depending on the odds of your picks. And for the ultimate vertical thrill, there is a superfecta, which requires you to pick the top 4 horses in order. If you correctly pick a superfecta bet, guess the top 4 horses in exact order, the payouts could potentially be anywhere from thousands to over 6 figures, depending on the odds again. I've personally hit some pretty big superfectas in my day. The biggest ones I've hit have been in the 5 figures. I've never hit a 6-figure superfecta, but it's definitely possible under the right conditions. Now, to make these vertical exotics more flexible, you could do things like boxing or wheeling. So for example, a box superfecta is taking your 4 picks and boxing them so that your horses could come in any order. As long as they're all in the top 4, you will win that superfecta if it's boxed. The only catch is that it's a lot more expensive. So for example, a $2 superfecta, a $2 straight superfecta becomes a $24 boxed superfecta. So that could, really get pricey if you do multiple boxes. A wheel strategy is something that you would use if you are confident in the position of, say, one of your horses in a superfecta, but you're not sure about the other places. So for example, if you're very confident that the number 3 horse is going to finish first, but you're not really sure about the second place finisher, you could wheel the second place. So you could do number 3 to finish first, and then you could select all for second. So that means that regardless of what horse comes in second, as long as the other horses in your superfecta come in the right places, you'll still win. Now again, that could be a lot pricier than just a straight superfecta that's $2. Depending on the cost, really depends on the number of horses that are in that particular race. All right, so now let's shift gears to horizontal exotics. And like I said earlier, horizontal exotics involve picking the winners of multiple races. So the most basic horizontal exotic is the daily double, which requires you to pick the winners in 2 races. So let's say there's 8 races on a racing schedule and the daily double is the 5th and 6th races. Then if you were to pick the winners of the 5th and 6th races, you will win the daily double and get a payout, which could typically range from the tens to hundreds of dollars or more, depending on the odds of the horses. Even with favorites, at some tracks, daily doubles could pay out hundreds of dollars. Building on that, you have the pick 3, pick 4, pick 5, and pick 6 races, which, like the names would imply, you have to pick 3, 4, 5, or 6 winners of different races. Now, the pick 6s are where the real magic could potentially happen. Pick 6 pools could range into the 7 figures or even higher at some tracks. What a lot of tracks do is they have something called a carryover. Now, what a carryover means is that the prize pool isn't paid out until there's only a single winning ticket that wins the pick 6. So if there are multiple winners of a pick 6 pool, only a fraction of that prize pool is paid out and distributed to the winners. The rest of the pool is actually carried over to the next race. And this continues until the mandatory payout date, which is usually the last race of the season. So 2 possibilities exist. Either there is a single winning ticket that gets the entire prize pool, which could be massive, or the entire prize pool is paid to multiple winners on the mandatory payout date. There is also a possibility in rare cases where nobody wins the pick 6 on the mandatory payout date. And the way tracks typically deal with that is that they will pay the ticket that's closest to the pick 6 winner. So for example, if there are no winning pick 6 tickets, anyone who successfully picks 5 of the races will be entitled to the prize, which could still be quite massive. I've personally seen payouts in the millions for single ticket winners on pick 6s. So yeah, they can be massive. A few more exotics that you might encounter include the super high 5, which requires you to pick the top 5 winners in a race. So it's like a superfecta on steroids, and naturally significantly harder to win. Although if you do pick a super high 5 successfully, the rewards could be massive. Another exotic that you might encounter is called the Grand Slam. The Grand Slam requires you to pick the top 3 finishers in 3 races, and then the winner of a 4th race. It also has some built-in consolation prizes for near misses, but it is an incredibly difficult as well as an incredibly rewarding exotic bet if you were to get lucky and hit that. So that pretty much covers it, a complete rundown of the horse racing bets, anywhere from the win place show all the way to the pick 6, super high 5, and Grand Slam bets that could turn your day at the track into a potentially life-changing experience. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.